My friend gave me that look. Even my opponent was shocked. And about the dress, just keep swimming, That's when I made the blunder. I lost my queen at the Asian Games and somehow didn't lose the game. I played the Petroff Defense at the Asian Games 2008 against a high-rated opponent, and I blundered my queen. What? I was at the 8th grade by that time. But here's the crazy part, I didn't lose. My friend gave me that look. You know that one? Even my opponent was shocked I kept playing. It was the first time at the Asian Games. I was nervous, under massive time pressure, and honestly, I took it too seriously. And yeah, I was emotional. My heart was racing, my palms were sweaty. Mom's spaghetti type of situation. And about the dress, I don't believe in superstition, but that was my lucky dress. I played white starting with e4. She played e5, and I played knight f3, knight f6, Petroff Defense. Here I played knight to c3. I was kind of bored with the usual knight takes e5, and then she would probably play t6 and I'll take the knight back. Knight takes e4, queen e2. If she takes the knight back to f6, I'll put my knight to c6. The square check the king and also attacking the queen on d8. Queen goes to e7, knight takes e7. Instead of knight going to f6, if black plays queen to e7, I would simply capture the knight on e4. If d6, d4. If d takes e5, d takes e5. So after she plays knight to f6, I play knight to c3. She developed a bishop to b4, attacking my knight and threatening the e4 pawn. Here, let's say if I play bishop to c4, and if she captures my knight on c3, I would capture d takes c3. And if black captures my e4 pawn, I would simply put my queen to d5, threatening to checkmate at f7 and also attacking the knight on e4. I was wondering maybe I could even capture knight takes e5 over here. After overthinking so much, I took this game too seriously and played d3. What a horrible move, dropping my own bishop right here on f1. So here I give you the lesson 1. Develop your pieces. According to Engine, this move ain't that bad, but it's like kind of really passive. And look what black did to me. She played d5 like a white player. I did the best thing, capturing that pawn. D takes d4, knight takes d4. Now there's more pressure to the spin. And if I play something silly like bishop e2, takes c3, b takes c3, bishop takes c3, I would lose the rook. Bishop t2 is there. I still come from an exchange down. Yep, I played the best move, bishop t2. She developed a knight to c6. I played knight to e4, asking for a trade. She refused it. That's when I realized she has a double bishop advantage lower. I should have simply developed my bishop to e2 in order to castle. I played h3. Thought I could just stop this bishop coming from g4, but bishop e2, it's good. She knew exactly how to deal with a player like me. She played f5, controlling the center, chasing my knight away. Lesson: never make unnecessary pawn moves. There is no point for me to take this knight to g5. Might end up getting trapped. Yep, after a6. I'm glad I brought my knight back to c3. And then black castles happily. This time I developed my bishop to e2. Right here she played bishop to f6. I was hoping she would develop the c8 bishop. Castle early. Black should be developing a bishop on e6. She played f4. Maybe she thought she could block the diagonal of my bishop. But then I feel like it's a whole advantage for my knight coming to e4. And that's what I played. She's a double bishop lower. She ain't giving that bishop, so she put her bishop to e7. Her bishop should have been on f5 at least now. She haven't developed her bishop yet. If knight captures a bishop on f6, queen takes f6, and still fine. And yes, she took her bishop back to e7. Since I'm having a very passive push and I wanted to take control of the center, so I played c3, controlling the d4 square. I was kind of confused if I could play c4 or c3, because if I played c4, I get the chance to chase away that knight on d5. And if knight d goes to b4, I would have got a chance to develop my bishop to c3, also defending the d3 pawn. After playing c3, she moved her king to h8, because the queen is coming to b3 and might end up getting pinned, so it can be defended. She didn't want to risk. This is where I realized after playing c3, my bishop is even more passive. Could I even play b4 directly? But then I settled with playing a3, because I just want these pawns to get going. I'm talking about the a, b, and c pawns. She finally brought the bishop to f5. I'm singing to my pawns like, just keep swimming, as they're going from b4, c4. She played a6 to stop the pawn rolling. So I pushed the other pawn c4, chasing away this knight. The knight goes back to f6. Queen c2 is the best move here. I made a quick calculation of this. Knight takes e4, he takes e4, bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, and there's no queen takes d2, but knight takes d2. Back then I didn't know the importance of knight on e4. I just simply captured that knight on f6. I felt like that is too powerful and feel like that's troubling me, which was a bad move. After bishop takes f6, black is totally fine. Instead of bishop takes f6, g takes f6 is more powerful because the rook can come to g8 and control the whole g file and attack on the king side. But instead, black captured with the bishop. I played queen to b3 trying to attack on the queen side, which is a mistake. I should have played bishop to c3 instead, because here comes a square attack. She pushed the pawn to e4, opened up this diagonal attacking my rook, and this knight on f3. If I simply capture the pawn, the bishop takes a1, and after e takes f5, I don't like it. But I played it anyway. Sure, she could have taken her bishop back to f6, but instead she put her knight to d4 for a forced exchange. Bishop takes f4, rook takes f5, bishop to g3 is more natural, but I'm a crazy person and put my queen to g3. She played queen to f6, I captured the pawn, bishop to c7. She brought the rook to f8, putting pressure on f2, more pressure on f2. I played bishop to f3, king h2 right here could have been more manageable, because if bishop takes f2, queen d6. For bishop f3, she played rook to g5. I was under time pressure, did not think much. That's when I made the blunder. I should have played bishop g4, and then h5, queen h4, bishop takes f2, rook takes f2, queen takes f2, queen takes f2, rook takes f2, king takes f2, h takes g4, and still fine. But I played queen h4, takes g2, king takes g2, king takes h4. The game's over. I'm about to resign. But then I thought about what am I gonna do after getting back home? Probably nothing. Normally I resign if I lose a major piece. And shockingly, I don't know why I didn't. So then I made this move, bishop d3. My friend gave me a look, and my coach definitely not impressed. She took her queen back to e7. It started to get weird. My opponent was waiting for me to resign. It was embarrassing. And then I thought, I've got nothing to lose. It then went like c4, a5, bishop g4, a takes b4, a takes b4, bishop e5. I played rook e1, pinning down the bishop. The clock was ticking in seconds for her. She was about to get flagged. She panicked and the game went like this. I play bishop to c6. If rook takes c6, b8 queens. So is why we agreed on a draw. Moral of the story, never give up. I know it sounds crazy, like Hikaru says, never resign too soon. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out these important posts. Also, I teach chess. Do check out my website.